Birmingham City in blue went to Deepdale looking for their 6th win in a row, but a win for Preston would all but seal their place in Division 3, and Lee Cartwright's shot was deflected past Kevin Dearden to give them an early lead. Not much the keeper could have done about that, but he won't have been too pleased about his parted Preston second. His punch fell straight to Mike Flynn, who made it 2-0. 2 minutes into the second half, Birmingham rediscovered something like that fluent form that has taken them to the top, creating space down the right for Darren Rowbottom, whose cross was touched on by Simon Sturridge and then pounced on by Nigel Gleghorn. It threatened to come back, but that didn't quite materialise. Playing on plastic once a year is a lot different to playing on it every other week, and with the Birmingham defence slipping and sliding, Graham Shaw rounded Dearden for number 3. It was everybody up for Terry Cooper after that, and Birmingham did manage to make it a frantic finish. Simon Sturridge pouncing on the ball after the Preston keeper had lost his bearings. He crossed for David Rennie to bring it back to 3-2. That was the final score, but Birmingham are still a point clear with the game in hand. In Division 4, Mansfield Town's chase for a place in the top 3 sparked into life just before half-time when Phil Stans lobbed them ahead. But Halifax will level with one of the goals of the week early in the second half. 20 yards out and Ian Juriev cracks in the equaliser. 8 minutes later, Mansfield were back in front and Stan had got his second. Not the most orthodox overhead kick you'll see, but it ended up in the back of the net. Still, Mansfield couldn't hold on to the lead. With 13 minutes remaining and the nerves starting to fray at Field Mill, Halifax carved out an opening down the right, and Greg Abbott headed in their second equaliser. But 5 minutes later, Stant had the final words. Gary Ford released Steve Wilkinson. He got to the byline, and Stant got his rather ample chest on the end of it. 3-2 to Mansfield, and not for the first time this season. Their top scorer had answered their prayers. But it looks like it might take divine intervention to stop Burnley going up. On Wednesday, they beat Cardiff 3-1 and got the second fastest goal of the season when Robbie Painter scored after just 16 seconds. Cardiff, who are in the playoff hunt themselves, recovered though and were level at half-time. Colin Griffith got down the right and Nathan Blake arrowed in their equaliser. But Burnley wrapped it up early in the second half with 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. First, Ian Measham's cross was headed on by Mike Conroy, and Andy Farrell put them 2-1 up. And the 12,500 crowd knew their side were back at the top when Conroy headed in from almost on the line. Burnley are now 3 points clear with 2 games in hand. As for who goes up to the 4th, it'll either be Wycombe Wanderers, who've never been in the league, but who've got a brand new stadium, an average attendance of 4,000, and ITV's Alan Parry on their board of directors, or Colchester United, who were in the league up until 2 years ago and who are currently having to raise £80,000 to make sure their old ground at Layer Road is up to scratch if they get promotion.
I think it means everything to the town, the players, the directors, the chairman, to get back in the Football League and get your league status back. The conference hasn't been a bad experience, I don't think. You know, the lads have quite enjoyed the football, but there's nothing like playing in the Football League.
In the 4th division, the 3rd division, the 2nd division, you can finish 6th in the table and still get promoted. I think the conference actually is the hardest league in all of England to win. Only the top team is successful ultimately, and what a pressure that is. One slip now by ourselves or Colchester and a season's work is down the drain.
And in the last 2 years, the race to get out of the conference has gone to the last day. This year looks like being just the same. Wycombe went into Easter level on points but second on goal difference. They did their best to close that gap, beating Welling 4-0 and Bath 1-0. But Colchester didn't drop a points over the holiday period either, and on Wednesday they edged themselves further in front, while Wycombe could only draw at Kettering. Colchester won 4-0 at Boston. With 3 games left, they're showing more of the championship form.
Well, Paddy could be buying a champagne, James.
Well, I've got a £10 bet with old boy.
Have you?
Yes, I'm going for Colchester, who do have their problems. They've got a dodgy ground, but I think if they do go up, they'll find the money. And Wycombe have got their problems. They've got the pitch and Alan Perry. So you know, they're not without their problems.
For the...
Yeah, they're not without their problems either, are they?
Well, in the third, it looks as if Birmingham are going to go up, Jim, which is great because a city as big as Birmingham really needs the two teams to be doing well.
You're quite right, and it's England's second city. They've got enormous potential support, Birmingham, and they've played good football this year.
Well done,
they deserve to. He's done a great job there.
And little Burnley, who have a soft spot for Burnley. I want to see them do well. They look as if they're up.
Well, it was a regular visit for us, Ian. They were a First Division side, a great First Division side.
That's right.
And it's nice to see them on their way back.
Lovely.
It really is.
OK, well, we'll take a break there. Still to come, our goal of the season competition, so get that pen and paper now. We've coverage of the Sunday Express Celebrity Football Lunch, and we reflect on Rangers' successes in Scotland, so stay with us.
If I see one walking down a street, I tend to beat a hasty retreat. I walk on by. Whatever's in the back of any car, I find the moss too clever by far. I walk on by. No matter what it is, won't see me try to beat one, defeat one, disarm one. I'll break down and cry. Stop. I'll walk on by. You don't mess. I'll walk on by with a moss.
This vehicle is a symbol of the UPS promise for international shipments. It may be all you ever see. But remember, it's your access to our new package and freight services that span Europe. And to an air network that spans the world. UPS predictability. It means getting it there when you need it, wherever you need it.
Old iron! Any old iron, any old iron, any old iron. If rusty railings give you heart failings, you go to the state, don't hesitate. Grab yourself a brush, protect against rust. One coat is all you need, oh. It's gotta be right with Hammerite on iron.
Hammerite protects metal against rust because it has the barrier technology no weather can penetrate.
It's gotta be right with Hammerite on iron. Stick it on your drain pipe, all right.
He was the world's funniest comedian. Now the Sunday Mirror reveals the real untold story of Benny Hill, his wealth, his women, his heartache, plus George Graham's surprise verdict on soccer's league title chase and 1,001 ways to improve your sex life. Plus get your free packet of seeds. Buy the Sunday Mirror tomorrow.
From Hollywood Pictures.
I was calling about the nanny position.
Her plan to make this family her own.
She seems terrific. What's the catch?
One by one, she will charm them all.
I don't know what we would have done without her.
All of them, but Claire.
I'm the mother in this house.
The hand that rocks the cradle.
The world's ultimate challenge has arrived.
Welcome back. Now to Scotland, and viewers in the Scottish and Grampian regions next Tuesday night will be able to enjoy live coverage of Rangers' final home game of the season, the championship party, if you like. They take on Hearts, for so long the league leaders themselves. I'll be there, Jim, with Jerry McNee, the singing commentator, and the show is hosted by Jim White from 8 o'clock. So it's 4 championships in a row now for the men from Ibrox. Clive Tilsley reports.
We've had 19 minutes. Vaughan's clearance rather hanging on the wing, and here's a chance for Ali McCoist. He's going to walk it in. Oh, how he loves to score goals. Here's Vinicum, underlining the strength of this Rangers squad now. Mikhailichenko. Gary Stevens arriving on the scene. Oh, what a beauty. Money never saw it. 2-0. Houstra. Durant. McCoist. Lovely turn, lovely goal. Oh, what a season he's having. His second of the day is his 35th of the season. It's fallen for Mikhailichenko. And Samirin undone here. Muddy got a hand to it. Houstra. The fourth goal. The fourth successive title for Rangers, surely. And champions in style.
Most players wait a footballing lifetime and never win a championship medal. Gary Stevens wins one nearly every year. 6 in the last 8 seasons, 2 with Everton, 4 in a row now with Rangers. A never-ending story of success that the men in the light blue shirts are rightly proud of.
44 games it was this year. I mean, that was on paper at the start of the year. 44 games sounds an awful lot to have to play in a season. Before Christmas we were playing 2 games every week, all the way through to Christmas. It was very difficult, you know, mentally more than anything else.
You see, people say that it isn't difficult for Rangers, that the competition here to the Rangers in the Championship is token.
Well, whether Rangers are the champions or not, sides up here tend to... the fire in the bellies for playing Rangers, you know, they prepare better. But add to that the fact that we've been champions the last 3 years, sides really do want to do us, you know, they want to see us fall. Probably along with 50% of the Scottish population, you know, that's the way it is up here.
The one saving grace for Rangers detractors has been the club's failure to win the Scottish Cup since 1981. In their last final 3 years ago, Stevens made the error that gifted Celtic's Joe Miller the winner. No Rangers player is keener to make 1992 an Ibrox double year.
On the day it always hurts, but I think there's a lot of water gone under the bridge since then, and I was forgiven by the fans. I think that's one thing that helps you forget. I still get the odd snide comment walking along the street off Celtic fans. But I've got a chance this year, along with the rest of us, to put the records right. They've talked about it being a bit of a jinx competition, but we haven't really deserved to win it. And this year, all due respect to Airdrie, we've got a better chance perhaps this year than we have you know, for a long while. And I'll be starting from scratch really, because I've had a year off. I'm perhaps a different player as well.
In what sense?
Well, I mean, a year on. I mean, you've got to develop.
Better?
I'd hope so. But the older you get, I mean, the more you use your brain, perhaps a little more strong mentally, and perhaps I could deal with that. But I will never find that unless I get to play again. That's the thing.